Hello and welcome to Golden Dongle, quest for the Golden Dongle. My name is Ivy and my pronouns are she, her. I am joined here by a member of the Court of the Owls, Jorge.
Hello, I'm Jorge. My pronouns are he, him, and uh, I refute the allegations. I am not a member of the Court of the Owls.
So you're not an assassin sent to kill Bruce Wayne?
No, of course not. Why would you think that? I can't. I
Well,
don't.
because
I
it's
will.
I'll tell you why, because it's spooky season and we are kicking off our spooky dookies with our first installment, which is Batman: Court of the Owls, which was part of DC Comics New 52 comics line, where
Yes,
they were kind of rebooting in 2011. I think I remember when this was happening, and one of
I
the
actually forgot about it. Yeah.
yeah, and I guess they were trying to be catchy. They're like, New 52, we have 52 new titles. Did all of them stick around? We don't know, but one of them was Batman, and I believe the first storyline that kicked it off was the Court of Owls.
What a what a honestly what a banger to start on. To be honest, I've never
Yeah.
read this comic. I've only been recommended like whenever I ask my friends, like if there was one Batman comic you would recommend to someone who doesn't read superhero comics at all, everyone says Court of Owls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it's definitely a fan favorite. Everyone has nothing but good things to say about this installment. Greg Capullo does the art, and his line work and kinetic energy with like the drawings and stuff just looks so
yes,
cool.
most of the pages I have bookmarked are just like really good drawings. Uh, this
Yeah.
is another thing. So I guess like a little bit of background for me. Like I don't really read superhero comics. I love comics, but I'm not. I was never really big into like the
Yeah.
DC Marvel stuff, unless it was like Teen Titans. I got into for a little bit, uh, but other than that, not really much. So like I'm more a fan of the movies. Like I'm a big fan of the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Uh, but as a
The
comic
Christian
book
Bale movies
character,
I like a lot.
I like them all. I like Tim Burton, I like Christian
Mm-hmm.
Bale, and I like the even the new one, the Robert Pattinson movie is pretty good.
I didn't see it. You'd recommend
Yeah,
it?
I do actually. I like the Val Kilmer Batman, and I kind of like George Clooney Batman.
Nipple
Just a little
Batman?
bit. Yeah, at least
Homoerotic
that
nipple
one.
Batman?
Those are the Joel Schumacher movies. Like
Yeah.
I have a love hate relationship with those. There's a lot of good in them, but
Yeah.
there's just so much in it too that I just absolutely hate. Like I that is Tommy Lee Jones Two Face is one of the worst Two Faces ever made. I cannot even enjoy it on like a cheesy level. I just hate it. Uh,
Yeah, they kind of
but then
ruined Tommy Lee on that one.
yeah, for real. And then Jim Carrey also. I know a lot of people loved them in that movie back then, but there's like so many other better Jim Carrey movies than that
Yeah,
one.
Batman
And the
Forever wasn't very good. I'm gonna just say
uh,
that. Was it? Which one was Uma Thurman in? Was that
Uma
Batman and
Thurman was
Robin?
in Batman and Robin. Yes, she was Poison Ivy. That's the one I like more.
I like Uma
Uh,
Thurman.
Yeah, with Uma Thurman and Arnold as
Arnold.
Mr. Freeze, who
Arnold.
was like who is like so off base that it's perfect in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I don't remember his one-liners in that movie, but was he like cool off, bitch?
Cool off, bitch. No, he doesn't say that,
Oh,
but
he says
he might,
something. I can't remember
he
what he
says
said in that movie, but he said something.
he says who killed all the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age.
Yeah, just like that, just like that. And then oh my God, what's his name? Chris O'Donnell. I'm trying to remember the
Yeah,
Robin's name. He was like making me kind of gay.
yeah. I wanted to ask about your gayness for Batman, especially in Court of the Owls, or rather, the Court of Owls. Um, Greg
Oh, anytime
Capullo,
Nightwing shows up, yeah, he's like
well, like Greg Capullo, the artist, draws Bruce Wayne like a pretty boy, and
he's a bit of a hunk, but yeah, he's
yeah.
handsome.
Were you into
Not
him in this story,
not
or
too
were you
much. Nightwing was
Nightwing?
pretty cute.
Okay, so he was your cup of tea in this one.
Yeah, yeah. Bruce is a little too I don't
He's a
know.
little
He
too
looks more
he's uptight and stuff too.
But yeah, anyway, so that's. Oh, by the way, my favorite Batman movie is actually Batman Returns, the second Tim
Yeah, I
Burton
don't know
movie.
if you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't know if I ever saw that one.
You should. It has an all-star cast.
Yeah, I hear it's like
Uh,
one of the best.
yeah, it's my favorite. Of like as much as I do like the second Nolan Batman, which everybody does. Like I have such a fondness for Batman Returns, and recently I've been really into '89, the first Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was good.
Yeah. The more I rewatch it, the more I get it. Like I used to not like that one, but now I get it. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But yes, I recommend even the new one if you haven't seen it, I recommend it.
Yeah, I might watch it. Might watch Batman Returns first. I liked Batman what's the first Batman Begins? I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
It's cool when
Batman Begins.
yeah, it's cool when he's like doing his fucking mountain training and doing drugs and fighting ninjas and
Yeah, that's the one
like
where he
in
like.
a prison camp like when it first kicks off. And one of my favorite things about that movie was Cillian Murphy as the Scarecrow. He was cool.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was, and he was like in all three movies.
Yeah.
He made a cameo in all three of them, one way or another, which is cool.
Yeah, he showed up briefly in the Dark. No, was it the Dark Knight? Which is the one with the Joker?
That's the Dark Knight.
Okay, that one. He's like in the beginning briefly as like a drug dealer.
Yes.
I remember that part, and I was like, "Oh my god, the Scarecrow's back!" But then it's like
Yeah,
and
that's it.
then that's it. Yeah, and then he's the fucking judge in when
And the
the
third
criminals
one.
take over Gotham and shit, and he's
Yep.
like, "You got to walk across the fucking river that we sentenced you to. We exile you if you can make it across." And
Yeah.
he's like fucking crazy, and he's got like weird feathers and shit in his hair.
Yeah, he like it took his mask away, but he's still like they need to remind you it's Scarecrow in case you forgot, so they like
Yeah, he like lost
put
his
feathers
mind
on it.
and shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh, you know, Batman has a long and storied career, and I'm not an expert. I'm really not a Batman expert. I'm gonna just say that before we kick this off.
No, neither am I. Let's
We
go.
both have a casual knowledge, working knowledge of Batman, um, and I think that I haven't really read many of the comics either. I've read some. I've dabbled here and there. Like I've picked up single issues from different storylines and stuff. And I've read a couple of trade paperbacks. One of them was Batman Hush, which is another like acclaimed novel.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I've heard of that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's that one. There's The Long Halloween, which is I never read, but people love that one. There's The Killing Joke, which people are really into.
I remember that one. I
Yeah,
actually think I read The Killing Joke
did you?
a long time ago, yeah.
I hear that one's like essential reading for Batman fans. One of the other ones that I liked that I actually read was Batman Year Zero, I believe it's called, or no,
Here's
Year One.
zero.
No, wait, maybe Year One.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me look. Let me
Yeah,
do
look
a
that
quick
up.
thing. Yeah, so Batman Year One, I
Hope comic
believe
book
is
fans
the
aren't watching.
it's the one that I read, and it's yeah, so it's like the origins, a reinterpretation by Frank Miller of Batman's origins, and it's
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
yes, and
That's a good one.
I believe that Batman Begins was partially based on Year One. That's I like that one a lot. But yes, we've got the Court of Owls. What was your main takeaway from this book? Did it change your perception of Batman stories? Did it make you a bigger fan?
So before I get into that, I actually wanted to bring up
Mm-hmm.
uh there's a Frank Miller Batman that I remember reading a while ago, and that one was also really cool. If you haven't read that one,
Was
uh,
that the Dark Knight Returns? I believe it's
I
called
believe so.
the
Yeah,
one
it's the one where he's like a thick,
where he's what?
where he's thick and wide.
Oh, is that the one where he's like in retirement and he's all fucked up and then he comes back and shit?
I think so,
Because
but I
that
remember really liking it.
yeah so that one, the Dark Knight Rises with Bane and all that. That's where they got that storyline from, partially
Okay.
from where Batman's in retirement and he's all fucked up and his knees like all fucked up. And it's like, yo, let's put some robotics on you and shit, and you could get back to it, asshole.
that one has a scene of that very iconic panel of Superman just like standing on like a scenery,
Yeah.
and an eagle lands on his arm.
I don't remember that.
It's so
I
it's so like it's so cartoonish in a Frank Miller kind of way,
oh
like
yeah,
almost a parody of like American exceptionalism, but
American exceptionalism.
it's I mean that's kind of what I like about Frank Miller. Like he kind of pokes fun at that stuff, and it's pretty cool. But anyway, yes, my first impressions of, or my takeaway of Court of Owls is
Yes.
I actually really liked how there's like a bit of a character arc for Bruce and Batman,
Yeah.
inherently. In this comic, he starts out very arrogant and then ends up humbled, you know?
Right. It's that
Uh,
kind of mindset where he's like, "Oh man, Batman is Gotham," and then
yes,
at the very end, they're like, "No, Gotham is all of us, even the owls, the Court of
yeah,
Owls."
yeah. There's a ugliness to it, and I appreciated that.
He was more idealistic at the outset of the story
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some
Which at first,
ways.
you're right. Idealistic is the right word, and it was turning me off a little bit because I'm like, he's a piece of shit. But like, the whole point of it was to give him like give him that hubris
Yeah.
so that then he could be humbled, and that was pretty
Exactly. It was
cool.
a great arc.
Yes.
And it's a testament to the darkness of this story. It's such a heavy dark story, honestly.
When you
It
think about it, yeah.
it really does it never really lightens up. It keeps getting darker and darker.
I know,
So
and
yeah, and it kicks off the first one of the first pages, or the first page, where it's showing just scenes of Gotham just looking like a pile of shit. People like standing around a garbage fire near an abandoned theater, and they're talking about the column in one of the Gotham newspapers talking about Gotham is, and I marked this page where they're talking about, here are some of the words used to describe Gotham the past few weeks: damned, cursed, bedlam, murderous. I thought that was great. And then it cuts to a scene of all the some of the villains,
all the bad
Killer
guys.
Croc, fucking Mr. Freeze, uh, Scarecrow, and
What
Two
do they call it
Face.
in the comic book guys call it Rogue Gallery, right? That's
Yeah,
like the group of villains.
right. So we've got the Batman's Rogue Gallery, or the Rogues Gallery, if you will, whatever,
Yes,
however
thank
it's
you.
phrased. So yeah, Batman's in. I guess he's in Arkham, and he's beating the shit out of all of them, and Clayface, who shows up
He's beating the
briefly.
shit out.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
just
look at this. Are you seeing what I'm showing here?
Yeah, he walked into this. See, I was kind of hoping you knew more about Batman than I did because there's some characters here that I don't recognize.
I mean, they, there's a couple I don't recognize either, but
Yeah,
they they,
kind of
they
we're
threw in
kind of fun.
all the main baddies are here, uh, and Batman's beating the shit out of them, and then fucking Joker
Yeah.
shows up,
Oh shit.
and they both start kicking the shit out of everyone. So
Yeah.
Joker seemingly teams up with Batman
I
for a
feel like
second.
I feel like this is kind of the hook they want you to keep reading because you're like, what the fuck? The Joker and Batman are
Right.
teaming up. What is going on?
But then it's revealed that it's actually fucking
It's just
what's his name? Help me out here.
Nightwing.
Nightwing, yes. No, but like what's his name? It's like
Oh,
Dick.
Dick
Yeah,
Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Yeah. I'm again casual Batman fan here.
Oh my god, we're gonna piss off so many people.
I know, but you know what? It's more about the story. It's more about the spoopy season. So here's your boyfriend, Dick Grayson. Oh shit.
I mean, listen, he's a little too twink for me, but he's cute. That's
Too
fine.
twink for you? I thought you liked the feminine spectrum.
You got me. I won't beat the allegations.
Yeah, like what are you even talking about? We established like your history and your exact preferences in like
uh,
the other episode.
yeah, you're right. I mean, if he keeps the mask on, I would.
Oh, so we have Batman and all the Robins and Nightwing here.
Yeah, like all of them.
They're
Like
just chilling at this party, at this rich bitch party.
I like how Bruce is 8 feet tall in this panel.
He's really fucking tall. They all look the same. They all just look like different versions of Bruce in this scene. It's kind of funny.
Yes, which is funny. There is a panel where Damian Wayne does the DreamWorks eyebrow, and it's so funny. I think if you
Wait, wait.
scroll down a little bit, you'll see it.
Oh no, wait. Are you talking about this?
Yeah, there it is. Look at my
You
face.
got to raise that one eyebrow. So the basic premise of this is that Bruce is heading this project to kind of reform Gotham to make it prettier, and he's got all these high-profile donors giving him shitloads of money, and one of them that he meets is this dude, fucking Lincoln March, who's definitely not a red herring.
Fucking Lincoln March.
who looks almost exactly like Bruce, except like even taller and more buff.
He's taller, thicker.
He's like the
See,
yeah.
he's more daddy. He's more daddy.
He's giving daddy apparently. He's daddy certified by Jorge. So, so that's going on. He meets him, wants him to meet up with him and do some political favors probably. And let's see if there's another page I highlighted here.
Yeah, he's a politician, and he wants to get on Bruce's good side
Exactly.
because he knows Bruce got the money, and he's like, "Hey, I like what you're doing. I think we both have a common goal. Let's work together." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And Bruce is like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to see what Gordon's over there saying."
Yeah, he seemed kind of like an obvious story point to me, oh, this guy's obviously, I don't know.
Oh, Lincoln March, yeah.
Yeah, he's like not obviously the villain, but there's something shady about him.
He was sus from the beginning. Oh, by the way, that panel, actually,
Yeah.
that's one of the parts I bookmarked. That panel of Batman right after they cut to
Yes.
him gliding over the city. That is a fantastic
with all the bats
panel.
and
That is like gorgeous.
heavily shadowed with the red
Yeah,
sky.
so something I don't like sometimes with like the DC superhero and like Marvel stuff
Yeah.
comics is the way they color the pages. I never like I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes I feel like really good line work is sacrificed to like okay coloring or even mediocre coloring.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
And that always turns me off because it's like I've seen what some of these pages look like without color, and they're phenomenal. They're gorgeous. Like the ink and line work is insane. And to the credit of this comic,
Yeah.
a lot of pages know how to use color. And that, like, I want to give props to whoever specifically colored this panel because the dark
Yeah.
tones are hidden right. Like this is how you color a heavily shaded ink drawing. It's really cool. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Props.
But there's a couple of colorists on here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that, like there's a lot of colors in this, or colorists in this comic because a lot. These are like a compilation of.
Yes,
volume.
but we would be remiss not to mention that Scott Snyder is the writer on this book, and he's very prolific, and he's done a lot of stories. He's actually he went to Stony Brook, I believe, which is a college on Long Island where I'm from in New York.
Okay.
So yeah, I believe he lives there too. He did a lot of appearances at comic book stores that were local, like in Smithtown, New York.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I never met him, but apparently he would drop into the comic shop randomly, and he's done appearances, and so he was like a local comic book writer.
That's cool.
Greg Capullo, I don't know where he's based, but he's the pencil. He does the pencils on this book,
Yes,
and
Greg is a fantastic artist.
Yeah, he has such a light and fluid yet geometric touch to his art. So it's very interesting because his work is so geometric, but there's still a softness to it, and the way he conveys movement feels just very everything looks so light. Chunky,
Yeah.
chunky yet light. It's such an interesting combination.
I think also the sequential stuff, like whenever they fight, whenever there's combat, very well, very well choreographed. I guess
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out like a sequential artist or sequential art equivalent of this term, but we're already past it. But the first fight when like Batman is fighting all the villains,
Hmm.
that is sequenced excellently, and it was what drew me into this comic when I first started reading it.
Yes.
So good job.
Great kinetic energy.
Kinetic energy, thank you. That is the exact word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's conveying movement in space in a 2D medium is difficult.
Yeah, and
Um,
admirable when it pulled off.
yes.
Correct.
So next in the story, they discover this dead guy with a bunch of knives in him, and he's all gross looking. And so they find DNA under his fingernails, and
Ew.
it turns out it's Dick Grayson's DNA.
It matches, yes. What's
So
going on? What could be happening?
I marked that point in the story. And then later, when we skip ahead to the scene where they're doing the autopsy. Oh, wait, first, we get a message from the Court of Owls. So using his detective skills, Batman finds a secret message on the
Oh,
wall. It says,
yeah,
Bruce Wayne will die tomorrow.
I was also gonna say I like when Batman is a detective. This is one thing that the Batman movies struggle with.
You mean
Uh,
he's not just a guy who punches people?
yeah, correct. And something that I feel the comics do better than the movies, and even the animated series did this a little better than the movies, is, the detective side of Batman.
Right.
After all, he is a detective. DC
World's
stands for
greatest
Detective Comics.
detective.
Yes, it's supposed to be. That is supposed to be like his superpower is that he has a big brain.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, didn't he start in Detective Comics, if I'm not mistaken?
That's right. Yeah, DC stands for Detective Comics, and
What?
it's kind of what started. Yeah,
Wow. You sure? I feel like it stands for something
very
else.
sure. That's
Oh
why
my
it's
god! I was today
you're
years
playing.
old
You're
when.
playing.
I was today years old. No, I don't.
You're playing, Ivy.
What the fuck does it stand for? I don't remember.
That's it. Yes,
No!
because it used to be Detective. Because that was like the first comics they published.
Oh god, it does stand for Detective Comics. I don't know what the fuck I thought it stood for. Jesus. All right,
But that's why
nobody
Batman
be
should
mad
be
at
a
me. I'm
detective.
learning.
That's like in the essence of the character. Every comic book nerd I know complains about this.
That Batman doesn't use enough of his detective
Yeah,
skills.
specifically in the movies.
Right.
The newer one tries to do it better, and they kind of do, but well,
Yeah.
that's not up to me to decide.
So we have the first.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
fantastic cover.
Yes. So it's where
Ooh,
he's
look at that.
jumping off of a motorcycle and punching a guy in a fucking helicopter.
It's so good. And I love that they include the black and white drawing
Yeah.
too.
So the next issue starts with Bruce Wayne being thrown out a window and he's all stabbed up and fucked. And there's some guys in a helicopter and he fucks them up.
Yeah, that sequence where he's on the bike chasing the dudes in the helicopter, very well done. I loved it.
Yeah. So one of the next scenes I have bookmarked is when they're doing the autopsy on the guy they found. I believe it was him, the one who was all stabbed up and had Dick Grayson's DNA on him. We have not in that way though. It was under his fingernails. He was he.
Oh my god.
It would suggest that he murdered him.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
So yeah, we have. I'm just reading this. Okay, they're talking about the symbol that appeared on the throwing knives that were used to kill this guy, and there was
and what
the Athenian
the
owl, the Athenian owl, which appeared on coins in ancient Greece and was a symbol of wealth and power. So it's a fitting symbol for the Court of Owls, which is an organization run by
What? No.
the secret organization run by Gotham's elite.
What?
It's kind of like if the Illuminati really liked owls and wanted to kill Batman.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, like WTF.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as the
Surely
Court of
there is
Owls.
no such thing as the Court of
No.
Owls. So that's Batman's mindset going into this. Because what's established in the beginning of the book is that the Court of Owls is kind of like a child's nursery rhyme to scare kids into being good and going to bed.
Yeah,
But
it's a Gotham folk tale.
yeah, but so
You
he
know,
he thinks nothing of it, thinking, "Oh, it's just some fuckhead appropriating the old the old nursery rhyme,"
yeah, he's super skeptical the whole time.
which is good.
Which kind of yeah, I was gonna say it contributes to his arrogance.
Yes. And also, it kind of highlights that aspect of his persona you were talking about of being a detective where they're not going to be swayed by just anything.
Right.
They have to put all the clues together.
Right, he needs evidence. And we'll get
Yes.
into another reason why he doesn't believe in them later.
Yes. So Bruce finally meets up with his old pal Lincoln March a little bit later. And
Oh, Lincoln
suddenly
March.
we see the first appearance of the Talon, which is the
Ooh.
Court of Owls assassin. So what
Who
was
looks cool as fuck.
I was gonna ask you your opinion of this dude.
He's cool as fuck.
He's got knives. He's got these
Yeah.
little goggles and a fucking owl helmet.
He's like a ninja owl, and he's got a ninja owl gauntlet, and it's awesome.
Right. So he stabs Lincoln March and Bruce. He's just stabbing everybody.
Yeah, he
And then we cut back to that scene where Bruce is coming out of the fucking window in the building.
right. It kind of comes back full circle to put us back in the present time. It turns out
Look at this.
the Talon, yeah.
Love
Oh
that
wow, yeah,
lighting.
that reflection is pretty cool.
Great
There's
lighting
a
in
lot
this
of, oh,
scene.
I was gonna say a lot of reflections are used in storytelling in this
Yeah.
book, and we'll go into that later. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it kind of is a reference to the hidden underworld, the subversive side of Gotham. It's dark reflection, if you will. That's
I think
my
also it's literally the story kind of forcing Bruce to reflect on himself too.
yes. And
Ooh, I like that panel.
let's remember, Bruce's great grandfather put 13 gargoyles on the building, but he called them
Wayne Tower.
guardians. And the 13th guardian was the guardian for visitors to Gotham arriving by air, because there was basically every point of entry into Gotham had its own guardian. And they were
Yeah.
it was all, symbolic stuff that his grandfather did. But
Well,
it's also a clue
yes.
to the hideouts
Oh.
of the Court of Owls,
Oh, actually, yeah.
which we discover is on the 13th floor of various historical buildings throughout Gotham.
So something I like about that moment when Bruce reveals that there's one last gargoyle and it's the one that saves him from the fall.
Yes.
What I like about that moment as a storytelling device is that it kind of shows that Bruce knows the city by heart. Like he's got an intimate knowledge of the city. And again, he uses this to enforce his idea that like there is no Court of Owls because he knows like the city of Gotham on a level that no one else does. Or does he? That's it's all part of building up to that
Yeah.
humility that will happen later. But I do like that a lot when they reveal the 13th gargoyle and he's like, yeah, like don't fuck with me because I know where I live. I know what this city is. I don't know,
This is my house, bitch. This is my
Yeah.
house.
Basically. So that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, he's like, don't fucking get up in my house, yo. That's exactly how Bruce Wayne talks.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He does. His name is Ghetto Wayne. I mean, Gotham is kind of a fucking ghetto, as depicted in this comic.
Oh, jeez.
It's just always dark and dingy, and everyone's like fucking getting murdered.
I prefer the term gothic.
Gothic.
Fine.
It's a gothic
as
ghetto.
the name implies. Oh, jeez. Moving on.
The ghetto. Court of Owls. They do some stuff, and they do some stuff to Bruce's great grandfather, I believe.
Yeah, this is a flashback going
Alan
back
Wayne.
all the way to Alan Wayne.
So he's running through the streets all crazed, just thinking that the owls are chasing him, and they're in his fucking house.
He's like, oh,
and
get him off me!
and he falls.
And, of
He
course-
falls through a fucking manhole sewer
Yeah, he
thing.
just jumps right down. And of course, it's 1950s, or no, it was a lot. It was like
1930s.
1800s when this happened. So people are like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here, crazy guy!" And
Yeah, it's the
nobody really cared.
1930s, I believe. Let's
Yeah, go.
take a quick
Is there
check.
is there a
Oh,
date?
1922.
1922. Thank you.
Sorry.
Early 1900s.
So yes, and then the next part that happens, Batman is fighting a gang of the Whisper Gang, who are from, oh, where the fuck are they from?
Believe
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Yeah, they're Ukrainian, and they have these weird fucking face mask braces on where
Yeah,
they're like locked and they can't fucking take it off as a sign of their oath to secrecy.
yeah. It's their initiation. I believe they're supposed to wear it for a year.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
pretty fucking weird, honestly.
that's how they get in the gang.
Right. So back at the Batcave after his little tussle with the Ukrainians, uh, Batman is talking to Alfred, and they're discussing his great grandfather. I have this page marked, specifically this part right here, talking about how his great grandfather had suffered from severe paranoia about the birds, the
Yeah,
owls, and he's
that's it. His great granddad,
yeah,
Alan Wayne.
he had this obsession, and he was going crazy, and there's this one line. He said, but even this didn't help, as he soon became gripped by the notion that they, the owls, were roosting inside his home in the walls. That's just
Oh,
so fucking creepy. Because is it referencing just the birds or the court of owls? And it's just
it
fucking
could be
scary.
both.
I
It
mean,
could
at
be
this
both. I
point, the
think it's
guy's
meant to
like,
be.
yeah,
It, it, it- I think it's meant to be thought provoking in that way. Yeah,
I just thought that was creepy.
yeah.
And they're just discussing how he, fell into the sewer and all that. And then, as always, Alfred's like, listen, motherfucker, you gotta just, like, stop going out and fighting. You gotta rest. You got stab wounds. He says it right here.
Yeah.
And you've got stab wounds. So you should probably, like, rest, sir, please. And
I think
then,
this is
and then Bruce is like, go fuck yourself, Alfred.
yeah, basically. I think this is why Batman kind of falls in the superhero category because like even though he's out of a lot of other DC superheroes, he's the most human of them. He does have that resilience that is almost superhuman. Like the guy won't go down for some reason. This dude barely sleeps. He's
Yeah.
always
He gets
exerting himself physically,
he gets
and yet
fucked up a
somehow is
lot.
able to keep going. Yeah, yeah. So in a way that does play into the superhero like ethos.
Yeah. It's cool though. There's
Sure.
nothing more satisfying than the shit getting kicked out of Batman and then he gets up again. I don't know what it is. It's just cool. It makes him he cool guy. But
All right,
oh, there's
here's
this neat little panel. All right, so first he meets up with Lincoln March, who's in the hospital.
yeah. He's like, oh, Bruce, they got me, bro.
They got me, bro. The owls, man.
Stop praying.
They're
People
watching
need to
from the
stop praying for my
shadows.
downfall. It's
They're
working.
they're watching you in your bed. He says it right here.
They watch you sleep, Bruce.
They watch you sleep and
They
fuck.
watch you do other things, Bruce.
They watch you jack off, Bruce. They watch you jack off, man.
I don't jack off.
I don't jack off. Yeah, yeah. Like, all right, I don't even want to go there unless you want to. Yeah, like he has no. Bruce Wayne has like no life. Let's get that out of the way. He doesn't. He has zero life outside of just beating the shit out of dudes.
I bet Bruce doesn't jerk off because he would say something like,
Oh,
"No, that exerts too much
oh
energy."
my god. He's like, it drains me of my man essence.
Yeah,
I need that shit to be like on
yeah,
top.
exactly.
Yeah, like, oh, I heard if you like, Alfred, I heard if you like jack off too much, it's not good. Like, I do it once every full moon.
Yeah, like maybe 4 times a year. That's all. That's all you get.
Right? Like, he seems like he seems like he's out of touch with being human.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know how to explain it. He's one of those
But
guys.
he's a playboy. Isn't he getting laid and shit?
I wish they showed it more often or depicted it like.
Right. I'm starting to not believe that he ever gets any booty at all.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Sorry, Bruce.
Weird.
Listen, it's okay. It's fine.
Maybe.
Fine.
Okay, wait. Let's give him benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's like I think we're seeing him from like the wrong standpoint. What if he's like Ace or something? What if
Yeah,
he's
maybe he only plays up the Playboy thing because it's part of the
the
public image,
image?
but in real life, he has no interest in sex.
Yeah,
He's
maybe
like
he's Ace. Maybe we should respect
that
that
shit.
about him.
That shit is only getting in my way.
Okay, ready? Batman is Ace and he and some kind of neurodivergent because he's hyper fixated on fighting
Wow.
crime.
I mean,
Right? Like the dude's
I
like
don't know.
obsessed.
The Ace thing I'll believe more than neurodivergent.
Really? Okay, so he's a totally normal guy that wears a bat suit and is
No,
obsessed with hunting down
he just
people.
has
Gotcha.
he just has baggage and PTSD.
Okay.
That's
I can get down with that. I have
There you go.
PTSD.
yeah, that's what he's dealing with.
Yeah. So Lincoln March gives him some shit, and he's like, "Oh, vague sexual tension between the two." I don't know.
But at the same time, that scene, you have to pay attention to it because like he is giving a lot of exposition. Like we don't know that yet, but he's giving a lot of exposition. Lincoln Marches, I mean.
Kind of talking about the Court of Owls as if they were a real thing, a real threat.
And he brings up his upbringing, an
Yeah.
orphanage, which we can put a pin on.
Yes. Please make note of that.
All right, here's another cool panel.
Yeah, Batman flying on a hang glider through Gotham with the searchlights going. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, very nice.
So
It
right,
looks great.
yeah, and during this sequence I have bookmarked, he goes to one of the 13th floors of the buildings that I believe his grandfather constructed, or one of the oldest buildings of Gotham. And
This is one of my favorite parts, by the way.
yes, he finds one of the hideouts for the Court of Owls and discovers one of their little owl assassin suits.
Yeah, this was an old timey one. There's a bit of a like you can tell it's a little more antiquated than the last one we saw. So this has been here for ages, in plain sight.
Since at least 1891, we
Right.
get a photo of all the weirdos wearing their owl masks.
Yes, it's creepy.
Oh, did you know
This is where the spooky dookies happen.
Yeah, this is where the real spookiness of the story happens for a Halloween season episode. Yeah, like, did you know when they first released one of the trade paperbacks for Court of Owls? I believe it was the first one. I don't know how many trades this was broken into. I think 2 trade paperbacks, but the first one came with an owl mask.
No kidding.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I gotta
So
look that up.
you too can be part of the Court of Owls.
You could be a psycho millionaire freak from the 1800s who wants to, I don't know, do secret stuff and murder people and probably do sex parties. Go eyes wide shut with it, you know?
Yeah,
And we're going to have to
joking,
do that
but-
movie.
Oh
Put a
yes,
pin in
yes.
that, eyes wide
I
shut.
love that movie.
Should we do that? All right, quick aside for this is a discussion between you, me, and the audience and all our friends.
Hello,
Should
audience.
we? Yes, hello everybody. Should we do? Oh fuck, Tom Cruise's movie, Eyes Wide Shut. Should we do it as part of spooky season or should we do it as part of Christmas season?
Wow.
Right? It could fit both. It's a holiday
we
movie
can-
at its core.
Right, we can discuss that later, but yes, it is a low key Christmas movie. That's
Yeah.
true. So
It's
maybe we
got-
should do it for Christmas.
Yeah, I would love that because I love that
All right.
movie. I have to do a rewatch
go.
of that. I'm gonna make.
You heard
my-
it here first.
I'm gonna make my wife sit through that one with me because
Oh my
she's
God.
not very keen on it.
Oh my god.
Okay, another quick one. We'll get back to Court of Owls in a second. And I know exactly where we are in the story, so it's all good. Another quick aside: should we do an episode about There Will Be Blood? I love that movie.
Ivy, that is one of my favorite movies
I
ever made.
fucking
So
love that movie.
let's go.
That
yeah.
movie is so good.
That is I'm not even joking, that is like top 5 for me.
It is such a good movie.
Yeah.
Fucking Daniel
Wait,
Day-Lewis.
if we do it, There Will Be Blood episode, that'll be like a 4-hour episode.
Oh my god, please. I would love that. I would
So
love to
yeah, let's
do
plan
that.
for that. Let's plan for that around like next month.
Yeah, that is a great. Let's call
Once the
that one a Thanksgiving special.
there you go.
I
Yeah,
don't know
once the
why.
spectacular is well, it's
It has to do with
actually I don't
family.
know why either.
We got to
It's
do
a
the
family movie,
we got to
whatever.
do the Godfather for Christmas also, because that's also another
Yeah, that
vaguely
that takes
Christmas
place in
movie.
Christmas, kind of.
Yeah, part of it does.
Anyway, back to
No, this is important. You're
the Court
seeing
of Bowls.
the audience is seeing our thought processes at work.
Yes,
So
we
yes,
just
they're in the Batman discovers the wonderful hideout of the owl people,
Oh,
and
something I love about this.
hmm,
Go up a little bit. Something I love about this is like the little eyes being like the building. I think that's very good storytelling. It's like telling you,
the panel is
are the
shaped like
owls
an eye.
watching?
Hmm.
Are the owls watching like Batman while he's going through their stuff? Because
He's
I,
touching
I
their
think
stuff.
I think they're kind of letting him figure it
Oh
out,
yeah. Well,
or lead him on to an extent. And then if you go, yeah, this is one of my favorite. This confirms it. Like the first panel is the back of an owl costume, and then the second panel is Batman posed exactly the same way. So it's like again, the reflections are happening. Like
yeah.
who is watching who? Like who is looking over what? Like who's got one over the other? It's pretty cool. I really this is the medium of comics being used in the right way.
It's beautiful, honestly. Some of these panel layouts are just masterful.
And here we go. This might be the horniest
2006.
panel.
Oh yeah, so we got Talon, right? And he's got men and women on his arms. Like
Right.
they fucking him.
I think they are. I think this is kind of implying that the owls do that. They
Yeah,
are.
yeah, right? Because it's like they're all attractive people, right? They're all like young, attractive people that are dressed up all
It's a
wonderfully.
secret society of rich people. You know they're fucking. You know they're fucking.
we fuck our zombie assassins because they're hot.
Spoiler.
Spoilers, they're zombies because reasons we'll get into. But Batman hits a tripwire and everything explodes, and
Wow.
the guy's
Fucking
watching
amateur.
he's watching with his little owl.
I know it's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute owl. So Batman explodes.
Oh, what a cool cover.
Cool cover
Yeah.
of the
Again,
city.
the owls are watching him. Look.
They really push this. What do you call it? Theme.
Yes.
So one of the hideouts explodes because of a tripwire, and Batman
Ooh.
manages to save himself.
Yeah, of course.
And he's back at the ye old Batcave with
Ye old back
Mr.
cave.
Dick, and
Dick Grayson doing like smug
yeah, look
faces
at this.
the entire like
Wait,
I don't know why he won't
okay,
let up.
dude, look how much fucking tension is in this panel. You don't feel that? Look at that. What is with this? Look at their eyes.
I don't know why Greg. By the way, is it Greg Capullo
Yeah.
or Greg?
Oh, I
Because
don't know.
like
I just say Capullo because I think that's what other
it's
people
two
say.
L's, and in Spanish that's a y. So Capullo.
That could be
That-
his. I don't know what his nationality is, but
I mean,
or
there's a little
heritage
bit
rather.
of
Ancestry.
these two characters are kind of looking at each other with like raised eyebrows constantly. Like, what are you
And
thinking?
they're standing very close and like they're kind of have have they explored each other's bodies?
But oh my god, I'm not getting into that.
Really, I thought you would be all about this when I was reading
No,
it.
because like
You're not
that
into
would
this. He's not
imply.
wearing a shirt and Dick's chilling with him.
But that I don't like the implication because that would imply Bruce is like grooming him or something. I don't like the idea.
Yeah, but they're both adult men and
Well, now they are.
well,
But
yeah.
he's known him since he was a kid. It's weird.
I guess
I
I
don't
guess that's weird. But
I'm not
then again, don't millionaires do this sort of thing?
know.
Then again, don't millionaires
Listen, that's not what this
groom their
comic is
fucking
about.
partners
Wait,
from when they're
hold on.
children?
Fuck. All right. Anyway,
Yeah, fuck millionaires, by the way. But we love Bruce Wayne because his parents got murdered.
damn.
Well,
See,
you get what I'm
that's not
saying?
why I
though?
like him.
No, but I mean, he's sympathetic. He's a sympathetic character. He's
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? He's not like, oh, I'm a millionaire and fuck the poor
We know
and
his struggle.
fuck your
True,
mom.
we know his struggle, and we do appreciate, especially when we see his flaws, we appreciate his humanity. that he's more than his money, that he's just a man. That is the sympathetic side of him. This is again, I feel like you would like the new Batman movie if this is what you're about.
Yeah. No,
Because
I'm
it does go into that. It does go into like his privilege and his humanity and how flawed he actually is, even though he's like the Batman. That's they did a really good job with that new
yeah.
one.
All right. I'll take I will put it on my list of
Oh,
watching.
and here's the flashback where Bruce is like, "I looked for the owls. They're not there.
Well,
They're not real."
he thinks that the Court of Owls may have something to do with the death of his parents. And he
Ah,
kind of resurrects that idea here after this. So this is him recounting him searching as a child for the owls.
wonderful page, by the way. I really love
Yeah,
this.
he's telling Dick all about this. And then, yeah, he said, I had found the Court of Owls, the men behind my parents' death. But what I actually found that night, up there in that secret room, was something much more frightening: dust.
Yeah, nothing.
The idea that his parents, he built this mythos around what could have, this grand purpose for why his parents had to die, and then he comes face to face with the bleak reality that it could have been no reason at all.
Yeah, and to me that's the beauty of his backstory is that his parents were victims of random violence. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing deep, and I actually don't like when some origin stories try to weave the parents' death into something bigger and more important. I think
Right.
it should stay unimportant. That's like the to me that's like the essence of Batman is like he is a product of circumstance.
Mm-hmm. This,
Which has nothing to do with like any grand plan. It was just a random act of violence that took his parents and changed his life.
absolutely. And he even states that right here.
Yeah,
I bookmarked this. He says, I needed there to be a court of owls, some
yeah, yeah.
great evil behind my parents' murder. I
Yep,
let that need guide my investigation and it almost killed me.
yeah.
And
And then he
that's
goes,
powerful.
there is no tooth fairy, there is no Santa Claus, and there is no court of owls.
So fuck your mom, Bruce.
Damn.
That's what Dick says.
Shit. So another thing I like is
Love this panel, by the way.
oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like I do like Junior Detective Bruce Wayne too. I like that whole sequence of him as a kid, like going around doing his own sleuthing and investigation. Like that was really
Uh,
cool. Anyway,
yeah, definitely. It was pretty neat.
good panel.
So,
Batman in the sewer, his
yeah,
favorite fucking place.
his favorite fucking place. He's in the sewer, and what happens to him? He gets assaulted by the
He gets
Talon.
God. This motherfucker busts through the wall. Like
He does.
he
And he
crushes this
fucks him
brick
up.
wall and fucks him up. And then bam.
And then where does Batman awaken? In a fucking maze, the labyrinth, controlled by the Court of Owls.
Yeah. And also I didn't notice this, but that monitor that they're watching him in is shaped like an owl eye. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's like those panels before you were pointing out.
Yeah, see, they're observing
So,
him.
one of the biggest, most important parts of, oh, I have to go to the second. We're right now, for those who don't know, we're kind of following along on the. We're looking at scans of the book on.
Yeah.
But I also have my own book that I have
Yes.
bookmarked in front of me.
We
So
both, yeah, full disclosure, we both have this book legally.
yeah, we both
So,
have it legally and illegally, but the illegal part's canceled out because we own it. Um,
but yeah, this part here is probably the climax of the comic.
It's the big
In my
central,
opinion.
right? It's the centerpiece of the book. Batman trapped in the labyrinth, and there's a huge ass owl statue, and he's like drinking this fucking drugged up water that makes him
Oh,
like hallucinate. So
well, the
he's
thing is that there's a we don't know it yet, but there has been a bit of a time skip. When he falls into the labyrinth, he is trapped there for days. Like I think over a week at this point.
so he's
So
wandering through this labyrinth, yeah, like you said, for a long time.
yeah, so he got thirsty and he saw water and he's like, "Shit, it's probably drugged, but I'm gonna die if I don't drink it."
YOLO.
And he takes a sip of that dip, and unfortunately, he is right. He starts hallucinating, like tripping balls and shit.
Right, and there's framed photos of people who were lost in the labyrinth on the walls,
And
showing,
it's a giant wall.
yeah, just showing all the victims of the Court of Owls. And
Oh
there's
my
a
goodness.
little camera set up that takes a picture of Batman every time he comes across this room in the labyrinth. And
The cool thing too is that the whole time he's like talking to himself and kind of responding to the owls, but they have not said a word to him yet.
he might be
Uh,
imagining everything.
yeah, so I don't know. This to me was when I realized like, oh, this is why a lot of people recommend this book is because this scene right here, it's
It's
so
just true.
trippy. It like messes with even with the reader. It messes with you.
Yeah. This
Not just Bruce.
it's true psychological horror at its best. So then the pages turn sideways and everything
Yes.
gets all wonky. And
So we start feeling Bruce's like the loss of his sanity as we have to turn pages on their side to be able to
right.
read.
And there's this wall that's like a is it supposed to be like a newspaper of Gotham? I forgot what this is, but there's a little model city of Gotham that he's walking over. So this room is just like this little model of Gotham, and it's
I
like a
think it's
white
names.
room.
I think it's names of people.
Okay. Yeah.
And the city. I think Bruce interprets that as like the owls are telling him, "You think you know the city? We known it better than you, and we've been like
And it's their city,
knowing
not
it
his.
longer than you."
Exactly. And then we come across the coffin room.
Which is also creepy.
Yeah, and it turns out that this is where the talons are stored.
Yeah, one of them is open.
Yes, the
We
one
presume it's the talent that was pursuing him earlier.
exactly. And then we got some nice Bruce hallucinations where,
Yeah, now he starts tripping like shit.
yeah, everything's turning into owls and he's coming back, circling back into the camera room again and again and getting his photo taken. And then we get to a big reveal where his now elderly parents show up,
Yeah, out
suggesting
of nowhere.
suggesting that, at least to his psyche, that his parents have been trapped down here for years.
Yeah, forever. As long as they've been missing.
Yes. But it turns out that they're a hallucination again, and they turn into owls, which fuck him up.
Yeah, and
And
at this point, the comic is literally upside down
the pages
and
are upside
reads
down because
and reads right to left, which is also crazy.
it's fucking crazy. And eventually, he winds up back in the room of all the
With the
photos,
yeah
and he sees the photos that were being taken of him, and his face is all
of
distorted.
himself.
And then Talon shows up and just stabs him through the back.
Fantastic panel. You can see like he's losing his humanity. He's almost turning into a creature himself.
Yes, and we see that
And
as an
again, we don't
illustration.
know. We don't know. Oh, that's a very iconic. I knew this drawing before I even knew about this comic. Uh,
Right.
it's the iconic him transforming into an owl or a bat. We don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's all like mutating and gross looking.
yeah, yeah, and it kind of expresses the loss of his sanity and humanity. I really like this sequence because it again it uses the comic book medium to its full extent with the whole page flipping and reading the panels in different sequence.
Right.
Very intelligent use of the medium to express insanity and confusion because the whole time it's not just Bruce that's hallucinating. We don't know if any of this is actually happening. We don't know if his parents have actually been there for the whole time they've been gone,
Right.
up until he snaps out of it. And something that I really like, I always love when like superhero stories do this, when their masks start breaking and you kind of see like
Yeah.
the inside, and suddenly like there's a blur between Bruce Wayne and Batman, like it's one and the same for just a moment.
Yeah.
And he has like one bloodshot eye,
Oh yeah,
while
yeah.
the other is like his cowl still obscuring his face. So it's a really cool like dichotomy or contrast between the two identities fusing together. I really like that stuff.
Yeah, it's a balance between the the alter ego and the
Yeah.
true self.
Yes.
And so basically, yeah, Batman gets stabbed through the back, out the stomach, and it's gross. And then he's basically dying and getting the shit beat out of him as per usual. And then the whole fucking court of owls shows up, and
Now they reveal themselves. Yeah.
they're just a bunch of these goblin-looking motherfuckers wearing owl masks and rich people, and it's constantly changing because it's reflecting Batman's state of mind, which
Yeah,
is
we
drugged and
and
fucked
we
up.
ourselves can't tell. Like, are the Court of Owls just like a mutant species that have been hiding away?
Right.
We don't know. Oh, I love this panel with the owl, the Talon.
Yeah, this one right here.
It looks so cool. Yeah.
He's standing looming over Batman with a bunch of the fucked up owl people. And so let's see. Yeah, this is the part you were talking about with his mask's getting fucked up, his eyes he's all gross. But
Oh, and then he happens to see a picture of Alan Wayne,
yes,
who it turns out he was in the maze at one point.
he was probably abducted when he fell into the sewer in
Yep.
1922. So we get there's a lot of these threads that keep getting circled back and connected, and it's pretty interesting. And then we have this full page panel of Batman becoming a sort of bat monster who's gigantic and
Yeah.
beating the shit out of the owls.
He
Which
kind of another thing I like when they do he kind of owns the insanity and embraces it, and now
he uses it to fight them.
yeah, instead of becoming an owl, he's now becoming a bat.
Yes. So they continue their fight, and Batman starts to get the upper hand. He's while
Yeah, get
fighting
him.
Talon,
Boom,
punching the
boom.
shit out of him.
Wham! Got a classic Batman sound
Yes.
effect punch there.
And then one of the Talon's goggles is shattered, and he gets thrown through a wall into the room where the model of Gotham City is. So now they're fighting like two Godzilla motherfuckers and throwing each other through little model buildings. And
Perhaps,
it's just a cool scene.
yeah, perhaps representing how the fate of the city is in both their hands,
Yes.
or that their violence is causing destruction. Literally.
Both of those things, I think, are great interpretations. And then Batman ends up back at the Owl Fountain statue, and the Talon is presumably dead. Presumably.
Presumably.
And there's he takes out. Okay, this part that he explains, I found this interesting. He's talking about. He says, "You can't hide from me. I know this city down to the foundation. For example, I know that this place, the taste of the water and the fountain, the minerals, were near the river, and I know the base of your big ugly fountain. It's white marble, not construction marble like the rest of this place, which makes it softer and more vulnerable to explosions."
There you go, detective work.
Yes, and he uses potassium chlorate basically to make a bomb and blow through the floor. And so he falls into the cave system and gets washed down the river. Probably back to the Batcave, I believe.
We'll see in a minute.
So
I think
much
he does,
shit
yeah.
happens.
But then the owls are like, "Oh, he got away, but
He got away,
we
but
we have a way."
look at all of our talons. We
Yeah.
got a lot of them. Let's send them all after Bruce.
They just go all in,
Yes.
and
We have
and now we have Bruce like fucked up.
Yes.
I
This
love
is
this
actually
panel.
this is actually going back to Batman Year One when he adopted the persona of Batman. A bat lands on the bust statue in his study, and he says, "Yes, father, I shall become a bat." It's a very, very, very Edgar Allan Poe Shakespeare-esque moment.
Yeah,
Which
I
really
love the
dig.
use of hard shadows. I love the coloring. This is
Oh,
one
the
of my
red.
favorite pages in the whole book.
I love the use of red in this book, I have to say.
Yeah.
And the next page I have marked after the owl eats the bat. There
Ooh, got
is yes. Yes, he says some truths were comforting, some were heart-shattering. Either way, these visions were meant to offer a sense of closure so that he may leave the world in peace, knowing all there was to know about himself. A vision of himself as he truly was, reflected in the burning eyes of his God. So there, where he's talking about, I believe he was talking about the afterlife in that part. Yep. So, all right, sorry, I'll go back a page. Some ancients believe that the moment of death brought about with it visions, not just visions of one's past or things known to the dying, but visions of one's self as one truly existed in life. And then we get that little moment where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be your bad daddy." Real quick, there's one scene where Batman is being shocked back to life because apparently he died. He flatlined or
Yeah.
something. Which is
They needed some hardcore nipple clamps to get him to back to
yeah.
life.
I don't know much about this character, but I like her because she seems very gay. Harper, and I totally would want to look like this. I too want to be a flannel wearing blue haired lesbian. I may steal this look in the future.
Go
Just
right ahead.
a little. I mean, she might even be trans. She's got a septum piercing and blue hair with a side shave. So I really dig her look, and she's in like 2 fucking pages.
Yeah, I just people probably know who she is. I don't know. We don't know who she is, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's a little cameo for like a character that
yeah,
showed up in a different story, and they just
right.
want to give you that little
I
moment.
just remember when she showed up, I'm like, oh man, why isn't she in more of the book? Brr.
I don't know. Go look her up. She's
I
probably in
know.
another story.
Oh, here's a shot of a nipple.
Yeah.
Look
Okay.
at this
So
fucking
we get
panel, though.
two. We
Look at
get
this.
two like
It's
close
horrible.
up, like wrinkly nipple shots,
With veins.
which I appreciate. Uh, that's fine, but it's weird that we got two of them.
And the second
One of
one's
them is like one of
really
them is like, oh, okay, they're just it's just POV, whatever. But then we get a second one, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to think, why is this here?
Greg Capullo nippled a little hard in this scene.
I think that is a happy nipple. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're not
anyway,
gonna say it's to the same extent as Masamune Shiro's foot fetish, but it might be.
foot fetish. I mean, he's
Which
got an everything fetish.
you don't think that. So you think he has an everything fetish?
Oh yeah, like feet is like a
It,
first grade for this guy.
it's
Like
vanilla for him. He's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
what
mean,
of it?
of course, he's strong in foot, but he's got like way more going on than just feet.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, real talk, because we get real on this show. We get real, and I think people
All right,
like
let's get real.
hearing that about us because I don't like being fake. I think you're the same way. You don't like
No,
fakeness in people, and
not really.
you
No.
and I are very like just our brains. We just tell each other our brain
Yeah,
thoughts.
I've heard the term like you have your thoughts in your sleeve. I can't remember exactly how it
Mm,
goes, but or wear my heart in my sleeve. Yeah, that's
yes, I believe that we're both emotional and sensitive and also uh honest.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Where's this going, Ivy?
No, I just like that. First of all, as
All
a
right.
statement to our friendship, I enjoy that about our
Okay, okay.
friendship.
I appreciate it too. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I always joke around like, oh, Masamune Shiro and drawing ladies' feet and everything. Yeah, like I'm like mildly into that too. I'll
Oh
admit.
boy,
Uh,
that's where we're going.
yeah, I'll admit I'm mildly into that. I don't
Okay,
have a full blown thing though.
I
Like,
accept you, Ivy. I accept
thanks.
you.
I don't
Uh,
have like I don't.
and your foot fetish confession.
Yeah, it's like it's a mild flavoring though compared to other people.
Okay. I
I
think
don't just to finish that thought. I don't just seeing it just seeing feet like doesn't do anything for me. Just seeing women's feet
okay.
depicted nicely doesn't always do it for me. It's very mild.
I will say this because this is how I feel, and I'm wondering if this is how you feel.
Yeah.
But like you, it doesn't really do anything for me. But if I see an artist draw really really good feet, I
Mm.
go, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be like for the whole picture what it does for it, it's hot.
right, exactly. Like it adds to the picture as a
Yeah.
whole. It's not anything I ever look for, but if an artist who probably is into it does a
Yes.
great job and then highlights other things too, like maybe for example, like Masamune Shirow, like
Yeah.
he won't half-ass any parts of the body. So
Right.
like that to me is like part of the whole package.
Yeah,
It's not what I look for.
he draws these great titties that like are perfectly
Yeah,
shaped.
he loves the banana boobs, sometimes the rocket boobs.
Banana boob. Is
But
that what
and
you
then to
call
close
them?
out, what?
Is that what you call them? Banana boobs?
There's yeah, like banana boobs and then there's rocket boob.
They're
Like
like,
there's two different types. But
yeah,
anyway, to close out, yeah, I'm like you. I don't like if someone takes their shoes off, it's fucking whatever. But like
yeah. I don't.
if an artist does it, actually, you know what? In real life, I don't like feet. Like
I
I don't want
well, there's a
to
difference
touch them.
there.
I don't want to
Uh,
lick them. I don't want to do anything with
I don't want to
them.
lick them, but I'm into them in real life, whereas I guess you aren't. But I don't like. It's usually only women and only certain cases.
I see.
It's not. It's just I don't feel that I have a full blown thing because I'm not looking for it, and it just seeing it detached and shit. Like
Right.
isolated. Like here is picture of lady's feet. Like that won't do anything for me.
Okay. Since you confess to this, I'll do you one. You know, one
Okay,
good turn deserves another.
sure.
I I used to think I didn't care for armpits,
Okay.
and then every once in a while, I'm like it's when I draw them too, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pay extra attention to this, and then I realize, oh, I really like if I see a really really well drawn armpit, I get excited. So like
Huh.
that might be something.
Like raising
There might be
with arms
something there.
raised and shit. Are we talking?
Like if you see the inside, it's
Yes.
like almost a surprise. Like I get excited.
Real.
I'm like, oh, whoa, I didn't know. And for some reason, like I started noticing this, and I don't want to examine it
Yeah.
too much because, again, I
Sure.
don't want to have a fetish for like just a regular part of the body. But uh,
I think there's a certain level where it's an appreciation and it and
yes, that's where I'm at right
an
now.
additive effect.
I very much appreciate it. And if I see like a really good, like a photo of somebody and they just have really good armpits, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's awesome. Thank you for showing me. I appreciate it.
Okay,
But
real quick
again,
though.
okay.
I
Oh well, here we go.
what about body hair on women?
I love how we're talking about quartervowels now we're going into kink. All
Well,
because of the stupid nipple.
it was loud though.
It was a loud nipple,
It
true.
was fucking loud, Capullo.
Yeah, uncalled for, bro.
Let's go. Body hair on women. What do you
Okay.
think?
Body hair?
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Or where it is, like, does that do anything for you?
Actually, sometimes it does, yeah. Like to be
Yeah,
honest.
right? It adds to
Yeah, like
the feral quality of the
uh,
situation.
the problem is like most people who are into body hair, they're like all about full blown. But
Like a
like for
bush.
me,
Like a bush.
yeah, but like for me, it's more like we're talking about underarms. If I see a
Yeah.
little bit of hair on a woman, I'm actually like kind of
It's
excited
cool,
about that.
right?
Like
I like it.
that's awesome. Like holy shit. And it's not just
Hmm.
like it is. There is a visual aspect to it because to me, like body hair represents maturity,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
sexual maturity. So like
Exactly.
that like it fires the neurons in my brain. But then
Yeah.
also when I see that in women, I'm like, oh, you're someone who like doesn't fuss too much about their appearance, and that's really cool to me.
There's
'Cause
confidence there.
yeah, exactly, it's bodycon, so like that is super
It's
exciting.
attractive confidence.
Exactly, it's not just a visual thing, but it also is like a psychological, like you said, like this
Yeah.
tells me that this is a confident person, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I
And
like that
also,
too.
it's sometimes it's gorgeous. There's an artist I really like, Godiva Ghoul.
Mm.
Uh, they are really good at drawing body hair on women, and I really, really appreciate how they do it. Uh,
Yeah.
so recommendation there for people listening. But
I agree with all the
uh,
things you said, and we have a lot of similar overlap in our preferences.
yeah, and even back when I was like growing up, I always liked body hair on the pubic area too. Like
Yeah,
I don't know, I just always found that attractive.
it can be nice.
So yeah, I was always into that. But anyway, there you go.
Thanks, Greg Capullo, for the nipples.
Yeah, well, the nipple, it's his fault for drawing an
Yes,
insanely detailed nipple.
like there were veins on it. Like he went, there was something going. I don't know.
Oh,
Something
that's
was
another
there.
thing I like. I like when I see a little bit of boob vein, like the
Mm.
little trail. That's really cool to me.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. Anyway,
When you get the big boobs with the vein. Uh, we're not gonna shame anybody here.
no,
So
come on.
we got they captured the Talon guy, and he's also
Back to the fucking comic.
he's like fucking half dead and
Yeah.
propped up in the fucking Batcave. He's like
Yeah, it's creepy.
dead, not alive, and
Yeah.
alive but also dead. And there's this like, I forget what their explanation was, but they said that there was something in their cells that allowed them to basically be undead. And I forgot what that explanation was. Sorry, everyone. Something about the cold that he says the compound turns the body into a kind of heat-powered factory for cell regrowth. So basically, they constantly regenerate, I guess.
Yeah.
And the way to shut it down is to lower the host's core body temperature. So they put him on
Extreme
ice.
cold will literally freeze them.
Yes, and then we got this shot of Bruce punching the fuck out of Dick.
Yeah, kind of mirroring that famous meme panel of Batman slapping Robin.
Right, and his fucking tooth comes out, and there's a marking of the Court of Owls on his tooth.
Now, is there a reason Bruce couldn't just be like, "Hey, let me get this thing out of your tooth"?
Because he's a dick, I guess.
Oh, okay.
He's a dick to Dick.
Take that, Dick.
Bruce is being an asshole.
Fucking backhand close fist, Jesus.
Yeah, so we'll just fly through some of this. I really like these panels with the Court of Owls. What?
Fly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a bird.
So there's this great shot of the Court of Owls dude being like, go and take Gotham City, and all of the Court of Owls, all the Talons are flying out with their wings, and they're jumping off a building.
Literally all of them.
And
it's kind of dumb of them to send every single one of the Talons out, but whatever. Maybe this is the Order 66 moment for them.
Basically, they are now invading Bruce's mansion. And
they're invading Bruce's manhood.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, this is a special comic scan.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right, I gotta.
These are all these concept sketches and stuff. They're in the version that I got.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta find.
Cool. I got the collection from actually launched this year.
You got a newer version.
Yeah, this one actually came out this year, not too long ago. It's the DC Compact Comics version.
So it's smaller.
Of Court of Owls Saga. It is smaller, which I don't like, because some of the text is extremely tiny in this version. Here we go.
So, Night of the Owls, where they invade Bruce's asshole. Is this right? Am I looking at the right thing? No, this is like the additional story bullshit. All right, I'm just gonna wing it because I can't find the fucking scans on the internets.
Here at Golden Dongle, we do things professionally.
Yeah, we're so professional. So there's this scene where the Talons are invading Bruce's mansion, and they're in the Batcave next to the giant ass fucking penny, because we know Batman has a giant ass fucking penny.
Okay, can you? I was hoping you were more of a Batman fan than I am, because I don't know what the penny's about. It's in everything, and yet I don't know what it is.
I don't know either, but I know that.
Oh my god!
I know that he has one. And
yeah, we all do.
He drops the giant fucking penny on one of the Talons, and it crushes him.
Is this like, would this for a Batman fan is the penny dropping on someone? Because it's happened more than once. Is that like a oh shit moment every time? Is that like, oh yeah, there's the penny, it's gonna fall.
Gotta do the fucking penny. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. I mean, it was in the animated series. I know that much.
Yes.
From the 90s.
That's where I remember it from.
And then there's this other panel I like where the Talons are flying through the Batcave.
Yeah,
which is pretty neat.
Batman's hole for sure.
Yeah, they're getting up in his bullshit. And then, of course, once Bruce seals himself behind a door, the Talons are trying to break in, and then fucking Bruce busts out in a giant robot suit.
Oh yeah, he's gone full. I don't want to compare it to Hulkbuster because that's lame, but like, it's a big boy armor, and it looks cool.
It's his get away from her, you bitch moment. So he busts out. He's kicking ass in this really fucking jacked robot bat suit. And then not only that, he activates his fucking robotic T-Rex that starts stomping on the Talons.
Okay, another thing I wish you could tell me. Why is that dinosaur alive?
It's not alive, it's robotic.
Oh, it's an
And
animatronic.
yeah,
Okay.
because there's this little panel above it that says he says activate Fido.
Oh,
So
Fido. Okay.
that's his little dinosaur guy,
All
T-Rex.
right. I have a little bit of backstory on the penny,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you care.
No, go ahead. I'm just trying to move through.
This was a coin, a giant penny that was once in an exhibit, and a criminal called the Penny Plunderer tried to take it. But then
I'm
Batman
the Penny
rolled the
Plunderer.
penny, yeah, rolled the penny around and squashed all of his henchmen and beat him.
And beat him.
And then he confiscated it and kept it as a trophy.
That's kind of awesome and badass. All right, so we know where the penny's from.
Yeah. So apparently, like it's just in the Batcave now for every continuity.
Yes. So giant penny dinosaur. Uh,
Fido.
Bruce lowers the temperature in the Batcave that basically, I guess, stops the
It gets
Talons.
chilly. That means everyone's nipples are erect at this point.
Right. Tons of erect nipples. So he drives out in the Batmobile and fucking finds Lincoln March all fucked up again with a knife in his chest. And so he presumably dies. We think he dies in that scene.
Yes.
And Batman is going to take the fight to the Court of Owls now. So he goes to hunt them down at their, I guess, their headquarters, their base, which is that old building, the harbor house that he came to as a boy when he was looking for the Court of Owls. And he said,
yeah, because he has this. I believe that I think it's a note that Lincoln gives him,
yeah,
kind of clues him in on like where to go. Oh, by the way, I really like the cover where it's like Batman holding a mask, but then behind him is like a shadow of owl wings. That's
yeah,
really cool.
that's one of the classic covers. I think they used it for one of the trades at one point.
But yeah, he has this moment of an epiphany where he's like, I think the owls have been hiding exactly where I knew they've been all along.
Right. So he goes back
And
up to the attic to find them, and
yep,
there's this
the
great
abandoned
panel I
campaign.
bookmarked where they're sitting in this fancy room at a really long table, and all the members of the Court of
Same room.
Owls are dead. They're dead at the
I think
table.
I think that's the same room he saw as a kid that he said was nothing but dust.
Right. But it's all like cleaned up and fancy looking, and
Yeah,
the
and
candelabra is lit.
every member of the Court of Owls is here. However, they are all dead.
So they're all dead, presumably committing suicide for some reason. And then if we skip ahead, after this, Bruce heads over to the Children's Hospital, Willowwood.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Willowwood Home for Children, which Lincoln March told us about in the beginning of the story.
Yes, that's where he's starting to put things together. The Court of Owls has always been there, exactly where he thought they would be, and it's kind of an interesting parallel to that moment that he had as a child where he encountered nothing, except now everything he wanted has been vindicated, aside from like whether or not they're connected to Martha and Thomas Wayne's
Right.
death. But
He at least knows they exist and they're really terrible.
or they did. But then like the final thread is the orphanage that Lincoln mentioned
Yes.
he was raised in.
Which is a horrible place because once funding ran out after Bruce's parents died,
Yeah.
it went to shit and they neglected all the children. And then a sinkhole opened up and then the whole place became defunct.
Yeah.
So Lincoln March reveals himself. He is back from the dead. He's all veiny and gross.
And he's here. Like he's waiting for him exactly
Yes.
where he told him.
And he tells Bruce that he's his brother. And that Bruce is the reason for the death of his parents and for Willowwood going to shit. And for his for Thomas Wayne Jr.'s misfortune. So Thomas
Yeah,
Wayne Jr.
so
is Lincoln March. Allegedly.
Lincoln March reveals himself to be Thomas Wayne Jr., Bruce Wayne's long lost
Younger
brother,
Yeah.
who was presumed dead after a stillbirth, I think.
Yes.
during an accident that Martha had in
Yeah,
a car.
car accident. Yeah.
Yes.
So he reveals himself, and there's this one panel where he part of his mask is missing, and he's smiling, and he looks really fucking crazy.
I really
And
like that panel.
he's like, your brother, Bruce. I'm Thomas Wayne Jr. Your brother that never was, from the other side of the mirror. Your so we
Yeah, the
got that
mirror.
theme
There
coming
it is.
back.
A
And
reflection.
the following page, I love these pages coming up. So the following page, I love his owl suit that he's wearing. It's so cool looking with the glowing eyes.
You know, I'm actually not that into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't. Like, I was kind of hoping it would be either all white to contrast Batman
Okay.
and
Yeah.
look like the maze, or all black like the Talons.
Yeah.
In my opinion, look a lot cooler.
I think all white would have been good.
Yeah.
But so now they're fighting, brother
Yep.
to brother,
Here we go.
owl to bat. And there's a
No
great
items.
panel of
Final
him charging
destination.
at Batman. And then so they start. What were you saying? Sorry.
No items. Final destination. Bat and owl only.
Yes. So now they beat the shit out of each other, and yes, Thomas Wayne Jr. gets the upper hand, beats the shit out of Batman, and then the next scene I have bookmarked is when he basically brings him up to an airplane and tries to throw him into one of the jet turbines.
Yeah, this fight is insane, by the way, because
Yeah,
like
he's
it
throwing
turns
him
out
through buildings.
Lincoln March can throw hands. Lincoln March is like a trained fucking fighter.
He's throwing Batman through buildings. He brings him up into the upper stratosphere and tries to throw him into a fucking airplane engine. And Batman plants an explosive on old Lincoln March, and he explodes. So he's like, "All right, that must be it."
Yeah.
Batman falls. He falls back down to the ground, goes through a building, but then of course there he is again. There's his bro again, ready to beat the shit out of him.
So something I don't know if it's mentioned yet, but Batman puts two and two together and realizes that Lincoln March was the one who killed all of the Court of Owls
Yes,
to throw Batman off his trail.
right.
Uh,
So he destroyed the Court of Owls for his own means.
yes, just to reveal himself.
And they were using him for a while, right? They were
Yeah,
the Court of
yeah. So
Owls.
the Court of Owls was kind of, and this is why the Thomas Wayne thing is blurry. Uh, the Court of Owls raised this child to
Yeah,
basically be the anti-Batman. Uh, and once they got their their wish, unfortunately, Lincoln March saw it more fit to
yeah,
just take it upon himself to be the leader of the Court of Owls and just take them all out, and fuck with Bruce Wayne so that he would like, uh, so that, he would
yeah.
have a big grander entrance. Like, I am the heir to the Wayne, like, not just the heir to like the Wayne Enterprise, but also the heir to Gotham. Like,
Right. So then he basically self-destructs and explodes to try and take out Batman in one fell swoop. And the idea being that he can't truly be killed,
yeah, yeah, that he won't
because
die.
he's like he has that immortal cell bullshit
He has the
going
goop.
on. The goop. So Batman escapes. The building collapses. We cut back to him in a wheelchair talking to Dick in his study. And there's this scene, there's this one page where there's a maze that they linked a bunch of panels together with.
Yeah,
There's this one panel where the Talons are in cryogenic stasis, and Bruce
hmm
says, I've had them moved to a cryo prison beneath Blackgate. Wayne funded, of course. As for the ones who got away, we'll find them soon enough. And that's kind of fucked up. He's just
yeah.
got frozen dudes underground. It's like we can't kill them. We don't know how, and
Right, right.
we'll just keep them locked up and frozen.
It's kind of a bit of a put a pin on that in case DC wants to bring them back at some point,
Right.
which is funny.
So that's
But
everything I had marked in Court of
all right,
Owls.
yeah, I think it kind of ends with Bruce looking at the city again but with literally in a different eye. Like
Yes.
he's got like his little scope thing on it,
Oh, and
and
I
he's
love these panels of Dick and Bruce having a conversation in this dimly lit study, and you see the light from outside of from Gotham City, you know, the ambient light coming in. I really like the lighting on these pages.
yeah. There's some scenes where the window frame kind of forms a silhouette of a mask on top of Bruce Wayne's face.
Oh
Again,
yeah,
kind of
right.
putting both
I see
the
that.
putting both identities in the same person.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love how moody it is. I love how moody it is whenever he's having a conversation with anyone in this book one on one. It's
Yeah,
always
there's
like,
some
yeah,
it's dynamic. There's never like a even if they're just standing and talking, it feels like there's camera movement or point of vision movement. There's like some really good framing going on, very curious and creative panel work where some of them are like the silhouette of the window. That kind
right,
of stuff is really good. And I like this scene because this is Bruce Wayne basically admitting I had no idea. Like, okay, I was wrong. The Court of Owls were real. I had no idea. I actually don't know that Gotham. I actually don't know Gotham the way I thought I did, and in fact,
right.
I might not be capable of fixing it the way I thought I did.
Yeah,
But I'll still do my job. I'll still do what I'm supposed to do.
and the idea that the Court of Owls may have been right. They may have been right about Gotham.
Yes,
They
they were
taught
right
him the
about Gotham.
lesson that
They did. They did. That he has no control. There's a lot of his reach can only or his he can only grasp so much of the city
yeah.
uh,
And he
as one
says,
person.
yeah, he says, in the end, I have to say I'm grateful to the Court of Owls for the lesson. But even so, if they reemerge, when they reemerge, I'll be watching always.
Be fucking him up.
And
They
that
better not.
is Court of I always get this fucked up. The Court of Owls. There we go. I think it's a great read for the Halloween
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
It
Thank you for
really,
recommending it to me.
yeah, really puts
A
you in the
lot of
mood.
my a lot of my comic book friends actually recommended this specific comic book, so I feel like I feel like I'm gonna be a cool kid now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I
it's
I
what do you call it? It really is essential reading if you're a comic fan, honestly.
but also like I'm not. So what I like about it is that it's very nice for people who are
Yeah,
just trying
yeah.
to get into
It's
it.
accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible. It's like a good one shot. You like if you already know the general backstory of Batman and like what his role is in the universe of DC,
Yes.
you'll pick it up pretty easy. It's got an interesting story. It has some very good use of which is what I like the most about it. Like it uses comic medium very well,
Yeah.
very effectively. It makes you appreciate comic books, which is great. And it adds a very interesting villain, like a shadow of Bruce Wayne, a character like a counterpart to him, uh, like an equal. That's really
Yeah.
cool to me. I always like that kind of stuff. So it's a neat little book. I really appreciated it.
Yeah. Visually it's very dark and moody, which is awesome. Really contributes
Yeah,
really contributes to the Halloween aesthetic and the whole
fantastic coloring, which is
yeah.
rare for me with these comics. I loved it.
It's very, you know what's great about it? It's minimalist, the palettes that
Yes,
they use.
that's that's what I like about it.
And
And sometimes it falls into the traps of like having too many colors, too many gradients,
yeah,
but it pulls it back when it needs to.
it's
So
yeah, the style of coloring is almost like watercolor.
yeah, in some parts definitely they almost seem painted
Yeah.
by hand, or you know what I mean, like not digitally.
Yeah, like there's
Uh,
that one shot of all the Court of Owls when he's in the maze and it's all watercolor looking in red where it's all their silhouettes being
mhm.
and they're chanting more. They're like more and more.
I also something I kind of don't like is that they don't want to commit to whether or not Thomas Wayne Jr. really is Thomas Wayne Jr.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Bruce is like, "Nah, they're fucking lying to me. I don't have a brother.
Fucking
My
liars.
brother died."
Yeah. My brother is dead.
Yeah, I don't know if your paperback has this, but mine has two extra chapters.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
I didn't reread them for this run through.
One of them is okay. The other one is really cool though. The one that like is Alfred's dad, kind of telling him like what
Gotcha.
happened.
Yeah.
That one's really cool. I actually like that one a lot. And that one does more
Mm-hmm.
or less confirm that Thomas Wayne might have actually lived.
Right.
So I really like that. I really like that there's it kind of pushes the reader more towards that side of the theory instead of like kind of leave you in the middle like the end does, which
Yeah.
I didn't really like.
Well,
So
I think for
it's worth
this,
reading.
yeah, it's one of those stories where you get resolution, but there's also some things that they leave open ended, which add to the mystery of the whole thing.
Sure, but I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff.
Really?
I like
You just like
I like
everything
when
neatly wrapped?
I mean, if you're gonna leave things open ended, I think there has to be a good reason for it. It can't just be like, well, we don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't because that's how I felt about it. Like it I think they were a little too afraid of shaking up the status quo by having like a blood relative of Bruce Wayne coming back and then immediately dying. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It felt like they didn't want to commit to either or, so I didn't like that.
Yeah, true. But you know what? The one thing that gets me about this book, it feels, I don't know how to say it, but like it feels real in that the characters feel real in this book. I don't know. I guess they did a really good job with Bruce Wayne in this book. Like
Okay, yeah,
they made him very much a human character in this. Now
yeah, yeah,
controlled by not controlled by, but uh his emotions lead him in this
yes,
and also the whole detective aspect that we touched on. You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
think I do. I think those are probably some of my favorite aspects of the storytelling is that Bruce Wayne starts out thinking one thing and ends up even if the Thomas Wayne thing is true or not, the important takeaway is that Bruce Wayne grew up a little
Yeah.
by the end of this comic. Like he was humbled. He's like, you know what? I kind of thought of myself as like the literal herald or king of Gotham, and
Right.
I was absolutely wrong about that, and that's cool. I like that. That it's a flaw to a character, a necessary flaw, a moment of growth, which I appreciate.
Absolutely. Character development was great. Great book. Highly recommended for
Yes,
Halloween
please.
season. This is our first
Even if you
recommendation.
Yes, even if you don't like Batman, please read. It's pretty cool. If you like
Yeah.
comics, at least this is a good read.
If you like comics, if you like psychological thrillers,
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of that.
psychological thriller movies or books or anything of that sort, definitely
Yeah,
worth a read.
yeah,
But
yeah.
what should we do for
What?
our next episode?
I
Because
don't
we
know.
couldn't find the Court of Owls did not have the golden dongle.
No, it sure had a nipple, but no golden
Oh
dongle.
my god, that nipple sent us on like such a fucking tangent.
You know what? If you're gonna draw a giant ass nipple with wrinkles and
It
everything, you
was
gotta expect
erect.
somebody to point it out and then be like, "Hey, you know what? Let's talk about body parts now." Like,
It was fully erect.
listen, it threw me off.
That
Like
was
I said,
a fully erect nipple. That wasn't
like I
just
said,
yeah.
one panel,
Yeah.
fine, fine.
Two
Two
panels.
panels,
Second
not a
panel had more
coincidence.
detail.
Not a coincidence. Something's going on. Anyway.
And here's the panel where we show his pussy.
Oh my
Oh god. Anyway,
God.
spooky
Anyway, yeah.
season will continue in our next episode of Golden
I
Dongle,
know.
Quest for the Golden Dongle.
Are
Wi-
we are we doing that? Are we doing Resident Evil?
I guess next time we will do Resident Evil.
Ooh.
We will have more details for you once we emerge with
Once we've emerged.
once we've emerged with a concept.
I know, right?
Yes. All right, everyone. That is all we have today. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
I guess we're goodbying now.
Yeah.
All right, all right, goodbye. Bye, everybody. I'm sorry that we talk about fetish. Bye.
Bye.